Another operation that surely you've heard about or I'd like to talk to you about is called the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. A lot of people shorten that and they call it the sleeve. The neat thing about the sleeve is that it's a great operation of which we have lots of information. A lot of people think it's experimental. I'm here to tell you it's not experimental. We have over 10 years of experience with this operation and it works wonderfully. What we do with the sleeve is we permanently remove the big floppy portion of your stomach that expands to accept food. And so we create your stomach into a long skinny sleeve that's about that big around. So how much food can you put in there? Not much, right? So it makes you full quickly when you eat. It's about that big around and that long. By dividing your stomach, it takes away your appetite, your hunger, and your cravings. So that monster you get in there that wants to eat a hole into your spine, that's out the door, that disappears. And it sets off those hormone changes where we're dropping the toxic hormones and chemicals that are not allowing your body to work efficiently for you, and we're raising positive hormones and chemicals, as I said before, to accelerate your metabolism. So of course you're going to get full quickly, you're not going to be hungry, you're going to be eating differently, you're going to be exercising, you become a healthy person, oh yeah, and you get to lose a ton of weight too. The sleeve is a great operation, and the way we perform this through great technology is we do this laparoscopically, which means tiny little incisions on your tummy. The biggest incision is probably about that long if you choose the distance between your first and second knuckle, very small. With the sleeve, it's about 4 or 5 very tiny ones, so I don't mess up the bikini line too bad. The neat thing about the surgery as well too is we do it under general anesthetic. You're asleep for the whole operation, I get to stay awake for the whole thing, which they tell me is a good thing. And it takes about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes all said and done. Depending on where we do the operation, you'll either be going home the same day or staying overnight. A lot of people are surprised by that, but our technology has changed so much over the last 20 years. We can do a major operation where we are removing somewhere between 70 to 75% of your stomach, and you can go home the same day. And yes, it's safe, and yes, our science has proven it's safe for us to be able to do that. One of the things that you can expect with the sleeve is because I'm creating a new stomach for you, you'll have to keep the sleeve as a low pressure system. That means that you're going to be on liquids for at least 3 weeks after the surgery. You're going to be drinking liquids to stay hydrated, not just water alone, things that have electrolytes in them, like Gatorade G2, Powerade Zero, Sugar-Free Crystal Light, and you're going to be drinking protein drinks as well to make sure you stay nourished. That's the important thing. You'll be on those for 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks, your stomach is going to be completely healed, and you'll be able to transition over to food, and all of that is explained in my nutrition program that I will give you when you first come to see me. Once you transition over to food, you can imagine how big are your portions going to be. They're going to be about that big. And if this is the fuel tank that has to run the entire engine of your body 24 hours a day, how many times do you have to fill that fuel tank? Lots of times. My most successful patients eat 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. Very small portions of food. As I tell all my patients, a quarter of a cup measuring cup is going to look like a Thanksgiving dinner to you. So that means you're going to become a really cheap date. One of the neat things that I can offer you with weight loss surgery, as well as the sleeve or the bypass, is I am also a laparoscopic, which a lot of people call minimally invasive. That means the tiny little incisions, like I told you before, some of the incisions are that big, about that distance. And I'm also a robot surgeon. Not that I'm a robot, but I use a robot to help me perform the surgery. So a lot of times I compare this to me kind of throwing a little transformer robot inside your body, but the neat thing about it is that there are these tiny little robot hands that I am controlling. I'm sitting at a console, the robot hands are inside your body, I am controlling the robot to perform the surgery. I find the robot to be really helpful, particularly when I'm doing a revision or a redo surgery, or I'm trying to correct a surgery, a weight loss surgery that someone has done previously. The robot makes me really precise and accurate. I think it's wonderful technology. As a guy, I'll tell you it's really cool, but I use this a lot to help people when they've had trouble with prior weight loss surgeries, but I also do it for first-time surgeries. And for my particularly very heavy patients who are over 500 pounds, the robot takes the stress off of me and allows me to do the surgery a lot more quickly on someone. With all of my patients, after a sleeve or any of the other surgeries that I'm talking to you about, Once you've healed, once your stomach is healed from the surgery, about 2 to 3 weeks after surgery, you're going to be eating very small portions of food. That's about how big around your stomach is. All of my patients are given information in my nutrition program, and they are expected to follow a high protein, low carbohydrate type of nutrition program. My nutrition program explains very clearly what those foods are. High protein, low carb is really simple. It's like a super Atkins diet. High protein is things like different types of meats, chicken, beef, seafood, crab, tilapia, shrimp, lobster, different types of cheeses, cottage cheese, yogurts, different types of nuts, different types of beans. It's stuff that people can eat every day. Clearly, one of the things that's important after obesity surgery, people must understand that junk food goes away, vending machine food goes away, fast food restaurants go away. So if there are those of you out there who are thinking that cookie dough and tortilla chips and Dr. Peppers are part of a healthy nutrition program, that's got to go away. Otherwise, this doesn't work for you. Surgery is going to help you determine what weight you get to and how healthy you become. But please understand, the purpose of surgery is to make good nutrition and exercise more effective for you. The recipe is surgery, nutrition, and exercise. If you leave any one of these three things out, this does not work for you. And I know there's a lot of people out there who go, yeah, Dr. Dirk, I want to lose weight, this is great. And in the background, the chatter that I'm hearing is, oh yeah, I don't want to do that other stuff, just give me the surgery. If you don't make that transition here and here in your heart, this is not going to work for you. So that's very important for me that you understand. A lot of people ask me what they can expect after the sleeve. Our science has shown that on average, people can lose 65% of their excess body weight in 1 year after the surgery. What that means is if you're carrying an extra 100 pounds at the end of 1 year, we would expect that you would have lost 65 pounds, which I think is really neat. What would your life be like if you were to lose 65 pounds in a year? Now, that's just the average. That doesn't mean that that happens to everybody. If you come out of this surgery like you've come out of a tent revival ready to change the world, you could lose all that weight, but you're the person who's going to make that happen. A lot of my patients will ask me what type of complications or what could go wrong related to the sleeve. The good news for you is the sleeve is a very safe operation. The likelihood of something going wrong is less than 1%. Again, that's based on a person's weight and the medical conditions that they come to surgery with. The more medical conditions you have, like diabetes or heart disease, the heavier you are, the older you are, the higher the chance of complications or things going wrong. As a doctor and as a surgeon, my job is to reduce that and to be honest with you and to tell you if we can do the surgery. And I will do that during your visit with me. But the sleeve is safe. The complications that can come about with the sleeve are, number one, bleeding. Thankfully, again, that's not very common. And I do a lot of tricks during surgery to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Another complication that can happen is a leak. That's where fluid from the inside of your stomach leaks out of your stomach inside your belly. And again, that happens very rarely. If these things do happen, I would have to take you back to the operating room to help you with that. But again, less than 1% chance of that happening. Another problem that can come about is blood clots. And the blood clots we're talking about are blood clots that can form in the veins of your legs that would go up to your heart and lungs and cause a major problem. And yes, they could potentially kill you. What we do to take care of that is very likely I'll be sending you home with some shots that you or your spouse or a nurse can give you once a day as a blood thinner to avoid blood clots in the veins of your legs going up to your heart and lungs. It's a once a day shot. Most of my patients take it for about 1 to 2 weeks and then you're done with that. But the one thing that avoids that from happening is making sure you stay hydrated after the surgery and you're up and about moving around.